Welcome everybody to Berlin's Brandenburg Airport. I've just arrived here to catch the arrival of two very special Lufthansa aircraft, 787 and an A350 in the Centennial livery. They're going to be arriving here simultaneously. I've heard talks of a parallel landing, and the reason for that is they're going to be flying historic flights. The A350 going to Cologne, the 787, which we're going to be on, headed down to Zurich. These are the first flight the original Lufthansa ever flew, April 6th, 1926, 100 years ago to the day. And we're going to be retracing the flight paths that they would have taken back then. Now, back then, they made multiple stops en route. Luckily, we don't have to do that this time, but we'll fly via those points where they stopped. We're going to be on this beautiful 787. It's my first time seeing it in person, and there's going to be a big event happening here at the gate and also beyond on the plane, headed down to Zurich. Really fun day, very special day for Lufthansa, really cool to be a part of it. And to add to the fun, we've got Sophia down in Frankfurt getting ready to take the 787 up here on its positioning flight. So, Sophia, over to you in Frankfurt.
Thank you, Gabe, and hello from Frankfurt Airport, where I am about to board this factory fresh 787 Lufthansa's Centennial Dreamliner that we will be joining on the positioning flight to Berlin, where we will kick off the festivities there, and I will be taking you along from here.
And this is the new Allegris business class cabin, which we're trying out for the first time on this special day. First impression, very nice. On the positioning flight, Sophia even got a little gift bag complete with snacks.
The principal German line was created on January 6, 1926, as a combined government and private enterprise organization under private management. The name adopted, Lufthansa.
Back in 1926, this route was flown by the Fokker Grulich F2. The Cologne service, now being operated by the A350, was flown using a Dornier Comet 3 D580. In its early years, Deutsche Lufthansa rapidly expanded across Europe, operating a mixed fleet of Fokker, Junkers, and Dornier aircraft. And by the 1930s, it was pioneering longer distance routes, including an airmail service to South America. After its post-war relaunch in 1955, the modern Lufthansa entered the long-haul era, launching its first transatlantic passenger services, using the legendary Lockheed Super Constellation, connecting Germany with North America and marking the beginning of its role as a global airline. It's incredible to think how far aviation and this airline have come over these 100 years. By the way, as of this month, Lufthansa will have a Super Constellation on display at the new visitor center at Frankfurt Airport. The A350 took off from Munich to position to Berlin at just about exactly the same time, and the two aircraft coordinated to arrive in Berlin together, performing a parallel landing. Lufthansa now has 6 aircraft in this stunning Centennial livery, including 2 A320neos, a 747, and an A380, alongside these 2 beauties flying out of Berlin today. Don't miss our video where we greeted the arrival of that 747 in Frankfurt airside. That was really fun. And we also have a blog post dedicated to this special livery and how to track all of these aircraft. Link in the description. All right, beautiful arrival of that aircraft, and quite a scene up here now. It's a whole thing with a band currently playing Aeroplane by Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's a cute one. And there's flight attendants in old-timey uniforms, all kinds of stuff happening around here. I can't even figure it out what's happening, but there's a big queue, I guess, to take photos with the old-timey flight attendants, which that's fun. Yeah, this is quite nice. And packed, full of people. And of course, Sophia was on that flight coming up. And here she is over here. I just happened to find her in front of this nice poster. So how was the flight up? What was it like?
Honestly, it was so cool, especially the landing. We were parallel landing with the 350 coming from Munich. And I've honestly never seen something like that before, such precision. Honestly, props to the pilots. It looked absolutely spectacular. Could you see it from the terrace?
I couldn't see the 350. But it was cool to watch it on Flight Radar, how you linked up like that, because for a minute it looked like you were kind of a bit far apart, a few minutes apart, and then that cool pattern you flew, and then you sort of diverged. And just like I wanted, you guys landed on 24 right, so that was perfect too. It worked out really well with the views. So did anything special happen during that flight?
So we got, when we boarded, we all had an individual snack pack, which was really nice, so we could just start snacking straight away. And then there was a very quick drink service, so you had the choice between champagne, lemonade, sparkling water, things like that.
Looking forward to flying this thing out of Zurich now. It'll be my first time on board a Lufthansa 787, actually. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's the Allegris new layout, so it's honestly very nice. You can be looking forward to.
We don't have window seats on the next one, but we'll do our best to get a window view somehow.
Yeah.
My name is Ronald Wild. I'm one of the designers of the Lufthansa design team, and I'm here because here's our baby, our 100-year aircraft. But for me, the nice thing with delivery is that you have always the feeling that the crane can fly with the wings. And what we thought in the beginning, maybe it could be a little bit cheesy or too obvious, but in the end it turns out very, very nice. And so that was the lucky finding and the idea finding process. I'm now 25 years working for Lufthansa, and it's really one of my greatest moments.
All right, the party's wrapping up here and it's time to board the 787 down to Zurich. But as I mentioned, it's no ordinary flight to Zurich. We're going to be flying a very special route today.
Yeah, you can already see it here in the back. We'll be flying through, we'll be passing Leipzig, Erfurt, and then Stuttgart, and then down to Zurich.
And these are the cities they would have stopped in en route on the 100 years ago today. Obviously, we don't stop this time, but we'll fly via those points, which is kind of cool.
And they also just said in the speeches that the first flights actually only had 4 passengers on board, so we're a bit more than that today.
Nice. Also, we have more comfortable seats, for sure. All right, let's go. All right, here we go. It's the Allegris product on the 787-9. My first time seeing it in the flesh on Lufthansa. Of course, I flew on the Swiss A350 recently, which has very similar setup. A350 different cross-section than the 787, but you see here, this is the business studio special upgraded business seat that you have in the first rows, and it's got that similar spaciousness and little door that closes. I'm over here in 3 Charlie. and we get our little window closer to the aisle, and then you have these alternating rows where you have double window closer to the window, like Laird is in right there.
Alright, so the captain just said we're currently overflying Leipzig-Halle, which in 1926 would have been the first stop where they landed and passengers could embark and disembark. Leipzig is a very big freight airport today, used by, for instance, DHL, Aerologic. So yeah, you should also be able to see it from here.
Don't forget to watch our DHL video, not shot at Leipzig, but still.
Wunderschönen Tag auch von meiner Seite, meine Damen und Herren. Ich heiße Sie auch recht herzlich willkommen auf einer der Vorstände von Lufthansa Airline. Und ich freue mich sehr, Sie heute hier nochmal persönlich an Bord begrüßen zu dürfen.
And after a nice little sightseeing circuit over the Black Forest, it's time to descend and land into Zurich, where it's a gorgeous day. All right, that was a fun one. Over too quickly, even though they went slow and flew low on that one. We're already in Zurich. It's like summer here. How did you enjoy that?
Honestly, it was so nice. The food was fantastic. The people on board, everybody was so happy to be on this flight. So I think that was, in terms of flights to Zurich, usually is a standard European route, but that was probably the most extraordinary flight I've had.
Yeah, it's always so nice when it's a special thing. Everybody's happy. You're allowed to be filming everything and excited yourself. You don't look like a weirdo. Really nice. Good job, Lufthansa. Really nice event they pulled off here. So, thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed it. In Zurich for Flight Radar 24, I'm Gabriel Lee, and this is
Sophia Brüning.